Just had this message. Helen, I've got ADHD and I struggle with motivation unless there's some kind of instant payoff. I know I should be able to focus on long-term goals, but unless I get an immediate reward, I stall. Is using small rewards just a crutch, or can it genuinely help me be more productive? That's from Samantha.
Mm. The eternal biscuit bribe.
Yes.
You know I love a biscuit
I
bribe.
mean, who doesn't?
Do a task, get a biscuit, works on children, works on adults as well.
Well, yeah, and it works really, really well if you've got ADHD. Because here's the thing: ADHD brains are wired differently when it comes to reward. So dopamine, which drives motivation, doesn't flow in the same predictable way. So while most people can see a long-term reward and plod steadily towards it, someone with ADHD often needs something kind of immediate to spark that engagement, you know?
Yeah, so I suppose procrastination isn't laziness, is what you're
No.
saying. It's just badly managed dopamine.
Well, exactly. It's not a moral failing, it's neurochemistry. If your brain doesn't release dopamine until the very last minute, you're always going to be in crisis mode. Immediate rewards are a way of hacking that system, and they give you a hit of dopamine or a hit of motivation now instead of waiting for that kind of distant promise of someday this will matter, you know?
Okay, yeah, fine, but what stops it becoming ridiculous? You know, what is the whole, oh, I answered 3 emails, therefore I deserve a Rolex.
I mean, if you've got the budget, maybe, but it's actually really about scale. So rewards don't have to be these extravagant things. Like it might just be a cup of coffee, a walk, 5 minutes on your phone. I like doing crosswords, for example, just guilt-free. It's the immediacy that matters, not the size of the reward.
Yeah, but in a business context,
Hmm.
I'm talking from a business point of view.
Hmm.
How do you make that work without turning the entire place into a toddler playgroup?
Well, yeah, but that's the important distinction. Self-reward rather than institutional reward or versus institutional reward.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness. If you know your brain needs like instant reinforcement, you build it into your personal systems, breaking tasks maybe into smaller chunks and reward completion with something tangible right away. So you don't ask the company to throw you a parade or buy you a Rolex every time you file your expenses, right?
Which is good because I'd be bankrupt by Friday with my team.
Yeah, but the other piece is that immediate rewards build. They build momentum, right? So once you've started, the task itself begins to produce the dopamine. But to get started, you sometimes need that kind of first little kick. Think of it like jump starting a car. The reward is the spark.
Right, but what happens when the novelty wears off? Which it's going to,
Mm-hmm.
because the brain gets used to the biscuit, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why variety really matters. So you have to kind of rotate your rewards. Don't let them become routine because they do, they lose impact. And
Mm.
remember that the real goal rather, is to build enough momentum that that task itself becomes rewarding. The reward is scaffolding, not a permanent structure.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. It's like going to the gym, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nobody really loves the first 10, 20, 30 sessions, or in my case, ever at
I was
all.
going to say, like, what? Mhm.
But I suppose the small rewards keep you going until your brain finally learns to enjoy the workout. Although in my case, it never learns to enjoy it. But I mean, it's just something you have to do. But
Yeah. Okay, so take workouts, right?
mm,
If you were to break each workout into different chunks and give
yeah,
yourself an immediate reward, you're
mm,
creating the dopamine, the motivation, the momentum to move forward. Because those immediate rewards, they're not childish. They're like a bridge, and without them, someone with
mm.
ADHD might never even cross into that action. But with them, they build consistency that wouldn't otherwise exist.
Okay. let me push you on that a little bit.
Okay.
Doesn't that risk creating dependency, though? You know, what happens when the reward isn't available?
Yeah, well, then you make the task itself the reward, and that's the
Oh, come on.
long-term strategy. Yeah, but to get there, you often need that scaffolding first. And we know this because of your field, from behavioral psychology, that variable rewards, small unexpected perks, are particularly effective. That's why social media is addictive. The same principle can be
Yeah.
used positively. Surprise yourself with small treats for completing things, and there you go.
So basically, what you're essentially telling Samantha is don't feel guilty about using instant rewards. You should feel guilty if she's not using it, if she's not using these instant rewards.
Well, I wouldn't even use that word guilty. I'd say
No, of course you wouldn't.
strategic.
No.
Don't you dare. Because what we're talking about is nothing to do with morality. It's about working with her brain, not against it, which is what most people do. They try and work against it. But immediate rewards are productivity tools, not indulgences. And that's the difference. The difference is that whether or not they're chosen consciously or whether they're used as avoidance, right?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's an important point, isn't it? So if you say, I'll do this spreadsheet and then have a biscuit, fine. But if you say, I'll have a biscuit instead of doing the spreadsheet, then not so fine.
Well, yeah, there's the line, right? So rewards have to reinforce the behavior you want, not like replace it.
And I imagine the wealthy or high net worth clients, which is where I'm coming from, since we're talking about high performance, are just as prone to this, only the rewards are different.
Right, I mean, I would probably say more so often. The higher the stakes, the bigger the tasks, right? So the harder it is to see the payoff, and immediate rewards give you traction in that moment. So for ADHD, traction is absolutely everything.
So basically, yes, Samantha, use the biscuit, use whatever works, just keep the reward proportional, keep it immediate. And I suppose the real goal is building momentum, not collecting treats. Although treats are always very good. You know, I love a biscuit.
Who doesn't, you know? But you're right, exactly that. For an ADHD brain, productivity often starts with something as small as, if I write this paragraph, I get to stand up and make a cup of tea. Or it sounds trivial, but it's the difference between, I don't know, paralysis and progress. And progress, however you get there, beats paralysis every goddamn time.
Yeah, no,
So,
I'm a firm believer in that, absolutely.
yeah.